share with us when you were out there? I mean, we've talked about this, but how was there other ships out there? What was it that you experienced that
in the South China Sea?
Yes, South China Sea.
Well, the South China Sea is like any other body of water in the ocean, exception China is trying to make it their own. They're trying to make it their own backyard, their own lake, if you will.
So they're building up a huge military?
Right. So they're building. Well, they're not. They are building their military significantly, but they're also in the case of the South China Sea. They have a thing they used to call it the 8-dash line. I think now it's the 9-dash line. But it's basically they want ownership of the entire South China Sea, right up to the Philippines, right up to Vietnam. So they're trying to make that their territory, their domain, if you will, which flies in the face of international law of the sea in every way. So we do operations to assert our ability to operate on the high seas by going to do what we call freedom of navigation operations. The U.S. Navy does a lot of that.
Should Americans be concerned? I mean, should our eyes be open to what's happening? I mean, I know I hear about it, and it depends on where you get your information news platform, right? We've talked about that, and they leave out a lot of information, but there is the truth. And then people that have gone to these, like such as yourself, this is what's happening. You need to open up. It doesn't matter what spectrum. I mean, we can be very polarized in our country right now, but we're still the safety of our country, our citizens, to not to go into something. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, are we really awake to what's happening here?
We get polarized a lot, and we have in our history.
Good punch, Keisha.
In my case. I mean, we get polarized a lot. We have in our history, but in my case, I served whatever president was in power.
Right.
You know, it was my commander in chief, whether I liked him or not.
Or agreed with them. I mean, but that's what they do.
That's what we have to have in mind. The Chinese were cutting off Navy ships back in 2008, so 11 years ago, and we were sending up the flags, complaining about it, saying this is a problem, it's getting worse. And were largely ignored for years until the last 3 or 4 finally, maybe 2 or 3. We're really starting to take it very seriously. So now the current administration is really taking it very seriously.
And that we should, as we should, right?
And they're looking at making sure that we're prepared and that our supply chain is protected. So I think we're moving in the right direction in that regard, but we need to be because we're risking getting behind.
Right, and we've talked about that.